Last class we have covered linear regression, right?
Yes, Sanjay.
Yes. What is a linear? What does linear regression? What do you mean by linear regression? Can anyone just explain?
भैया बेस्ट फिट लाइन देता है वो है ना?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What it does is just are you able to see my Microsoft that whiteboard? Are you able to see now or not?
नहीं भैया,
Okay, मैंने शेयर
मैं
नहीं
तो
किया. Okay,
ट्रेन में हूँ अभी डेटा पता नहीं कब कट जाएगा.
okay, okay. I'm sharing screen. I'm not shared. Okay, I'm
ओह,
sharing my screen.
ओके.
Okay. So see, are you able to see my whiteboard now? Is it visible to all of
हाँ
you?
भैया.
Okay, fine. So, what is logistic that what is that linear regression we have learned? Can anyone told that? Okay, pen is not working. Just 1 minute. Whiteboard pens. Okay. Mhm. Okay, this is a tip pen. Okay. Anyone know how to run this Microsoft? It's not working actually. Mhm. Okay, fine. Just wait, I'm just trying how it will work. Okay, the pen I have selected, suppose green pen, and I want to write here. It's not working actually. Okay, I'll check. Okay, so meantime what I'm doing, I'm opening that Google whiteboard. Okay, it's not working. Microsoft whiteboard is not working. Just wait. So fine. Okay, so last time we have discussed about linear regression. What does regression does? It just try to get the best fit line out of the different probability of different lines. It will try to get the best fit line. Okay, so the equation whatever we have learned, that y is equal to mx plus c, right? C is the C is the M is the slope of coefficient, and C is the intercept. Okay, this is the intercept. Okay, and the slope M is the slope of the, so X is my original data points, Y is predicted. Okay, so this is the equation we have learned on the linear regression model. Whenever we are trying to create a linear regression model, it will try to get a best fit line on the basis of this equation. Okay, on different initialization of the slope and M and C, it will try to get the best fit line. Okay, so there as I told, there are supervised machine learning, you can say supervised machine learning models, that this technique has been divided into two categories. Okay, one is the regression and another is the classification. Okay, you can say one is the regression and another is the classification type of problem. There are two type of problems we can do through this machine learning, that is the supervised machine learning. Okay, two type of problem we can solve. One is the regression type of problem, and is the classification type of problem. What does this regression, हम कहाँ से पता चलेगा, where you can understand this problem is a regression? If my dependent variable y, okay, if my dependent variable is having the continuous number like 16.5, okay, or 16.5 or 17.2, like this way. If my dependent variable is having the continuous numbers like this, okay, for example, you can say I want to predict what will be the score of a particular student, okay. There are so many students there were so many students in a school, okay, in a particular batch. I want to predict what will be the score of a particular student, okay, depending on the past informations. Okay, so depending on the past, by measuring the calculation on the past informations, I want to predict what will be the score of a new student. Okay, new students comes to the school, depending on this independent independent features X. For example, if a student studies if a student study 6 hours per day. Okay, for example, a student studies 6 hours per day, 7 hours per day, 8 hours per day, and different this is for example hour of study. Okay, depending on this hour of study, I want to predict whether the student will pass or fail. Okay, so this type of problem, whether the student will pass or fail, there are two types of, this is called categorical problem, this is called classification problem. I want to predict whether the student will get passed or failed. There are two different categories. The y dependent variable will have two different categories, either pass or fail. That type of problem is called classification problem. If my problem is having the dependent variable is having the score, I want to predict the score. The student in the past who studied 6 hours, probably they have passed. They have scored 90%. Okay, 90% score. And those students regularly studied for per day, studied about 5 hours, they are average peoples. For example, they are getting 60 to 70% mark. Okay, and those people who have studied less than 5 hours, they get below 30% mark, or they get failed. Okay, so this type of regression, these are, we want to predict what will be the score if a new student comes and he studied 7 hours, 8 hours, what will be his score. I want to predict like this way. So if you want to predict some continuous, this dependent variable is having continuous, like percentage 60%, 70%, like 0.90, 0.76, 0.85 score is there. I want to predict that score. This means this is a continuous number. Okay, I want to predict this continuous number. Then that type of problem will fall into regression. Okay, if I want to predict whether my customer, for example, my customer, depending on different independent features, I want to predict whether I want to give a loan, I have sanctioned this is eligible for getting a loan or not. Okay, if a customer is a defaulter, non-defaulter, okay, eligibility I want to check. Okay, whether it is eligible. There are two things. This is this type of, if there is two categorical things are there, like pass and fail. Okay, yes or no. Okay, eligible or not eligible, like this type of, defaulter, non-defaulter. Okay, defaulter या non defaulter. Okay, yes or no, this type of problem. This type of problem is called categorical problem. Okay, these are having the categories. The prediction column, this column, y column, is having different categories, and this is having two type of categories, like yes, no, default or non default, pass and fail, like this way. So this is called binary type of classification. What does it mean? This is called binary classification. Okay, this is called binary classification. And if there are my category, my dependent, for example, my predict value y is having different number of categories are more than two. For example, I want to grade a, b, c. Okay, there are three type of categories are there. If some customer, I want to segment my customer, I want to classify my customers, okay, on the basis of grade. A grade customer, B grade customer, C grade customer, like this. D grade customer, four type of grades are there. I want to classify this way. So this classification problem, more than two, I am having different, more than two classes are there. So this will be called multi classification problem. What does it mean by this? Is called multi classification. Okay, this is called multi classification. Earlier, if I am having two categorical output, then it is called binary classification. If more than two, it will be called multi classification problem. Do you understand till this point? Just 1 minute, Ajay. Okay, so this type of problem is called a multi classification problem. So you have to understand, whenever you are study a problem, business problem, you want to understand what type of problem is there. Okay, is it first you have to understand this is a regression problem or a classification problem. First, number one. Okay, if it is a classification problem, then you need to understand this is a binary classification or multi classification. This is a binary or multi classification problem. Do you understand or not?
अंडरस्टैंड.
ठीक है, सो आपको ऐसा ही करना है. ओके, देन टुडे आवर टॉपिक इज टू डिस्कस अबाउट दिस टाइप ऑफ प्रॉब्लम. I want to do the I am having a classification problem, and that is a binary classification. First we'll study about the binary classification. Okay, and for this binary classification, we are having a model that is called logistic regression. Logistic regression. Okay, logistic regression. And this why this is called regression? Because see, in linear regression means that there should be continuous numbers are there, but here, though the name is logistic regression, but this model will solve the problem of classification. Understand? Okay, this will solve the problem of classification, not the regression type of problem. This is a confusion. People get confused that this is a logistic regression, it may be solved the regression type of problem, but that is not the case. It will solve the classification type of problem, binary classification, multi classification and say. Okay, so but हमने ये नाम क्यों रिग्रेशन क्यों दिया है? बिकॉज लॉजिस्टिक रिग्रेशन क्या करता है, ये रिग्रेशन मॉडल को, हमारा जो रिग्रेशन मॉडल है लीनियर रिग्रेशन, y इज इक्वल टू एम एक्स प्लस सी. ओके, इसी को क्या करता है, y इज इक्वल टू एम एक्स प्लस सी. इसमें व्हाट इट डज, इट जस्ट ऐड एन एक्स्ट्रा फंक्शन टॉप ऑफ दिस. linear regression. It will add an extra function on the top of this linear regression. Okay, that's why this is called logistic regression. Regression is added to this, the naming convention, you can say the logistic regression. Okay, that's why it is called regression, because it is not a separate type of, it just what it does, it just add a function, non-linearity function, you can say this is a non-linearity function. Non-linearity function, you just write down here in a notepad. Okay, what I'm typing, because this is not a, I don't having a pen, that's some it is not like looking good. You just write your notepad whatever I'm telling you. Okay, it's just adding a non-linearity to this function mx plus c. Okay, we'll discuss what is this non-linearity. Okay, first we'll go through this mathematical things, then what we'll do, we'll go to our real, we'll see the application, one application, and we'll work on that. Okay, that's why it's called logistic regression. If someone asks you why, though this logistic regression solves the binary classification type of problems, why it is the naming convention is regression is here, because it is not a different than the linear regression. It just add a non-linearity function, you can say, on the top of this linear equation. Okay, understood till this point?
Yes, uncle.
Okay, so what is this function? Most important, what is this function? This is called sigmoid function. This is called some sigmoid function. Okay, this is called sigmoid function. क्या बोलते हैं इसको, क्या बोलते हैं? Sigmoid, SIGMOID. Okay, sigmoid function. And some people also called this as logit function, LOGIT.
Void function.
Sorry, logit function, logit or sigmoid, you can say. Okay, logit function, yeah, sigmoid function. So most important is here, what is a logit function? Logit, LOGIT. Okay, what is this logit function? This is nothing but it is defined as like this: y is equal to 1 divided by 1 plus e to the power minus of that y is equal to mx plus c, you can say mx plus c. Mx plus c. Okay, so this is called the logit function. Y is equal to 1 divided by 1 plus e to the power minus mx plus c. Okay, whereas m is the slope, x is my data points, c is my the intercept, right? E is the exponential, this is the numbers, 1 divided by 1 plus e to the power minus mx plus c. Okay, do you understand or not? Okay, this is the mathematical equation, you need to remember this one. Okay, and what is the functionality, I will let you know. Okay, what is this functionality of this function? Okay, so this this function, how does it works actually? Okay, so basically this some people has called as cumulative, also this is called as cumulative distribution function for the normal distribution. For example, and if you write a graph like this, okay, linear function will go y is equal to mx plus c, it is just a line. Okay, but this 1 divided by 1 plus e to the power minus, this will be like a sigmoid function. Okay, how does it sigmoid function? The curve will look like this. Okay, it will look like this. Some data points will fall like this. Okay, some data points will be here and here and here. Okay, and some data points will be here like this. And it joins the data points in a S manner. Sorry, this will be like this, like S curve. You can say this is an S curve. Okay, why this happens? Just take an example. I'm having X figures here. Okay, and I am having Y figures are here. As I told an example, like if a student studies about 5 hours per day, for example, X column is my hours column. Okay, number of hours studied. Okay, and Y column is the classification. It should be a classification like pass or fail. Okay, pass or fail. Okay, for pass I will take 1, for fail I will consider a 0. Okay, for 5 years those students regularly every day learns 5 years, studied 5 years 5 hours, then they get pass. So for example, then another case study is there. Those students have 6 hours study per year per day, they also get pass. Okay, 7 hours get pass. Okay, and 3 hours get failed. Okay, and 2 hours get failed like this way, and 1 hour get failed like this way. So if we plot this is the X. If we just plot X versus Y. Okay, X versus Y. X is equal to, for example, this is 1, this is 2, this will be 3. Okay, this is 4, and this is 5, this is 6, this is 7, and this is 8, for example. Okay, this is my data points. This is my x-axis and this is my y-axis. And y-axis I am having 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.5. For example, this is 0.5 and this is my 1. Okay, this is 1. I am having figures between 0 to 1. Y is having figures between 0 to 1. Y having figures between 0 to 1. Okay, this is having figures 0 to 1. So if a student studied 4 hours less than 5 hours, for example, they are having 0 figures. So the data points will come like this. Their failed means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The data points will fall will be here only. Yes or no? Because this is y axis, this is the 0. If 1 is 0, 2 is also 0, 3 is also 0, 4 is also 0. Suppose example 4 is here. Okay, 4 is also 0. Okay, and 5 is 1, so 1 is here, so it will be point as here. 6 is 1, the next point will be here. 7 is 1, next point will be here. Okay, like this way. So if I'll I'll pass the curve in between these points, this will be like this. So this is called sigmoid function. Okay, so there will be different sigmoids. For example, some misclassifications are there. Example, some students, those have studied 8 hours but they get failed. Some students, the talented students are, for example, they have studied 2 hours but they get pass. Okay, these are misclassifications. Some misclassification, some students like this type. Okay, so these are the, for example, this misclassification points should be here. Okay, for example, here these are the misclassifications. Some having the misclassification like this. Okay, but it will try to create different sigmoid functions. Okay, it will try to different sigmoid functions like this, like this, like this. Okay, and it will try try to give the best sigmoid function out of all these sigmoid functions. That means best means the maximum number of points, that sigmoid which carries the maximum number of data points, that will be the best fit, best sigmoid function. Okay, So in this way, the sigmoid function comes to the picture. If I'll you can say why this problem will not solve by a regression model. For example, if I fit one line here, you can say I want to solve by a regression problem. Just fit one line here, and those points above this line, okay, above this line, they are passed. Those are having less than below this point, they are get failed. Okay, but what happen if some misclassification is there, then this problem will not solve. Just understood this one. This linear regression will not solve. That's why this function, the researchers came to this picture. They came to this logit function y is equal to 1 divided by 1 plus e to the power minus mx plus c. Okay, mx plus c, and if you plot this y versus this variable, you will get this sigmoid function. Okay, that's why, and it will give a best best sigmoid function for us. Okay, that's why this this sigmoid comes into the picture. Okay, and one more thing I want to tell you. Okay, so how does this function actually works? Okay, how does this function works? Why my y figure is lies between 0 and 1? It should lies between 0 and 1. 0 and 1. If the values are greater than, if the values are greater than 1 and less than 0, then there will be a problem. Okay, that's why this sigmoid comes into the picture. It will convert all these things into 0 and 1. How? For example, the function is y is equal to 1 divided by 1 plus e to the power minus mx plus c. Okay, see how it converts, mx plus c. Okay, and this is a bracket, this should be in a bracket. Okay, see, so here x can be minus infinity to plus infinity, because this is having continuous number, so it can be minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, for example, this may be minus infinity to plus infinity. So e to the power, see, e to the power minus, for example, x is minus infinity. Okay, so what will be this value? E to the power minus of minus infinity. E to the power minus of minus infinity,
0.
okay, so what is the e to the power minus infinity? Sorry, e to the power plus infinity. It is now becomes plus infinity. E to the power plus infinity is infinity. E to the power positive infinity is infinity. This is a mathematical, just mathematical. Yeah. Okay. And if my my x value is infinite, not minus infinity, this is infinite, then what will be this figure? E to the power, it will be e to the minus infinity, and e to the power minus infinity will be 0, right? Yes or no? E to the power minus infinity 0. Okay, so what will be this now? If I will calculate 1 divided by 1, two condition I get. One is infinity and one is 0. This will be infinity or 0. So 1 by 1 plus 1 by 1 plus 0. For example, this case is 0. Then my output will be 1. And in this case, if this is infinity, then this total calculation will be 1 divided by 1 plus infinity. Yes or no? Yes or no? Then it will be 1 by infinity. That means it will be 0. That's why my figure, y figure, lies between 1 and 0. Always sigmoid convert all these figures between 0 and 1. That's why this is a question. If someone asks you why sigmoid function we use, because this is the one reason, because it converts all y values into 0 and 1. Okay, whether it may be plus infinity to minus infinity. If it is a positive, then it is, if it is a positive, then it will give the infinite value. If it is minus infinity, it will give 0. And if we'll calculate on this way, 1 divided by 1 plus infinity, or 1 divided by 1 plus 0, the figure will be lie between 1 and 0. This is the reason why sigmoid, this is the reason sigmoid always gives a value between 0 and 1. It will be not less than 0, not greater than 1. Understand or not?
Understand.
Okay, right? Okay. Another one thing, this function, that y is equal to 1 plus e to the power minus mx plus c, also people write it this way. Some here in, if you search in Google, some people write in this way, log of, some people write this way, y divided by a 1 minus y, okay, is equal to mx plus c. This way also some people write it. If you solve this equation, okay, if solve this equation, it will go to that equation. They're same, both the things are same. This will be 1 plus, sorry, 1 divided by 1 plus e to the power minus mx plus c. Can anyone solve this? Do those who have math, good math, they can solve this one. Mx plus c. This function is equivalent to this one. Can anyone solve this problem? Just go to this equation, solve line by line, you will get this one.
कर लेंगे अंकल.
कर लोगे ना?
जी अंकल.
ठीक है. So this, see here, this is a linear, okay. So log of this is also called as log of odds ratio. Y divided by y minus 1 is called odds ratio. Odds ratio, ODDS, odds ratio. ठीक है. The log of odds ratio, the log of odds ratio is equal to a linear. This is leads to a linearity. The log of odds ratio leads to linearity. This is a linear function, y is equal to mx plus c. Okay, this is a linear function, yes or no?
Yes uncle.
Yes, right. So this log of odds ratio leads to linearity. That's why this is named as logistic regression. Regression name is already here. Logistic regression. Mathematically, I'm just trying to understand you, so that anyone ask this one, you can better understand. You can rightly give the right answer. Okay. So log of odds ratio. Okay. Log of odds ratio is equal to linearity. This leads to a linear function mx plus c. That's why this is called logistic regression. Regression name is added to this. Log means logistic, and this is the linearity added. So that this is called logistic regression. Okay, and this is called odds ratio. Y divided by y minus 1 minus y. Okay, that means odds ratio. What is the odds ratio? Y divided by 1 minus y. This is nothing but the probability. This is nothing the probability of pass or fail. In our case, it is pass or fail. Probability of pass or probability of, it gives probability of pass or probability of fail. This odds ratio. This is nothing, y divided by 1 minus y. This is a probability function. Okay, this is just give us the probability of pass or fail. Don't don't get confused about these mathematical expressions, because in application it is so simple. You have to like linear regression, you have to write one code, but you need to understand the mathematics behind it, how it works, okay, how it gives the probability. So logistic regression always gives the probability, not the exact right 0 or 1. It will give a probability. It not gives exact 0 or exact 1. It will give a probability between 0 and 1. It may give 0 0.1, 0 0.2, 0 0.8. If it gives greater than 0 0.5, then you can say 50% above probability. Then you can say this is a this category will fall into a pass. Okay. If less than probability 0 0.5, then you can say this is a this category fall into the fail. Okay, so the pass and fail, as this gives odds ratio gives a probability, so it will give a figure between 0 and 1. Always probability gives a figure between 0 and 1, not less than 0 or not greater than 1. It may be 100% or 0%, nothing less than 0% and nothing greater than 1%. Okay, that's why this okay, this is one also reason that sigmoid function gives the value between 0 and 1. This gives values between 0 and 1. Okay, as this is the probability, log of y divided by y minus, this is the probability. Okay, another one thing I want to add here. Okay, what does okay, shall I convert this into this doing the mathematics, or you will do on your own? Okay, I'm just writing here what I have told you. Log of, just write down, because also this is just y divided by 1 minus y, okay, is equal to mx plus c. Okay, is equal to mx plus c. Okay, and if you convert this one, then what will be y divided by 1 minus y? Will be equal to e to the power mx plus c. If log will be go to that side, it will be e to the power mx plus c. I have applied log function here and here. Okay, so this will be e to the power mx plus c. Okay, and then what will be if I want to reverse this one. This implies this, and this implies what I will do. I will just I will convert this like this. Okay, I have what I have done. I have numerator go to the denominator, denominator goes to the numerator. Then what will be this this value? E to the power minus mx plus c. E to the power minus mx plus p. Okay, this will be e to the power minus mx plus c. Okay, and if I do another equation here, this I can write 1 by y minus y, 1 by y minus 1. Okay, 1 by y minus 1 is equal to e to the power minus mx plus c. Yes or no?
Yes, uncle.
What I have done, I have just what I have done, I have just 1 by y, I have divided y to the 1 minus y divided 1, so it will comes 1 by y minus 1. Okay, is equal to e to the minus c. Then what will do, I will add, I will do this addition to here, so this will be 1 plus, if I'll delete here, I want to what will do, I will add 1 here, so 1 by y is equal to 1 plus e to the power minus ms plus c. And what will be the y? What will be y? Y will be 1 divided by 1 divided by what will be y?
minus x
1
plus
divided by 1 plus
e to the power minus mx plus c. Okay, so this is the function. This function can be derived. If you solve by this line by line, you can derive that exact that function, that sigmoid function. Okay, in this way. Okay, now next. So how to find the best problem is here. My y is equal to, my y depends on uh, which variables? The slope and the intercept. That is, but that is not indirectly. Y depends on slope and intercept, but it is present here, e to the power minus mx plus c. Okay, mx plus c. So now my problem is, I want to get the best sigmoid function out of different by initializing my different m values and c values. So this y depends on m and c completely. Okay, if my m value changes, this will changes, my c value changes, this will changes. Okay, so I want to see the best fit sigmoid function, that is best m and best c. What is the best m and best c? Okay, how to get this best m and best c? So to get this, in the linear regression, what we have done to get best m and c, we have just calculate the loss function. Okay, that is the sum of squared errors, ei to the power 2 squared errors. You can see, right, just simple like this way. Sorry. Okay, sum of squared errors. This was my to get the best fit line. We just try to minimize this error. Sum of squared errors should be minimized. It should be minimized. Okay, it should be minimized. In linear regression, it should be minimized. Similarly, here also we want to get the loss function, and that loss function we need to minimize. If we minimize our loss function, okay, but here this function will not, this is for linear regression. For this one, if y is equal to mx plus c, then this is okay. We need to calculate the loss function, and we'll try to minimize the loss function. And the line where the loss function is very minimal, we will consider that line is the best fit line. Okay, that is the logic. Similarly, here we will calculate the loss function, and wherever the loss is for that sigmoid function where my loss is very minimal, that sigmoid will be considered as the final sigmoid, final logistic regression line. You can say the sigmoid line. Okay, for that we need to the concept of log loss comes here. Concept of log loss. This is called log loss. Okay, this was called mean square error. You can say MSE or mean squared error we have calculated for linear regression, or mean absolute error, MAE. Okay, these two techniques we have learned in linear regression to calculate the loss, and on that basis we need to try to minimize our loss in linear regression. This is on linear regression, but here in logistic regression we will calculate the log loss, and we will try to minimize this log loss. Okay, so what is this log loss function? Okay, this is so simple. I'm just writing here the function. What is log loss function? Next, what is log loss function? What is log loss function? Okay, theory part will complete fast. Okay, so that concept you will understand. Then we'll go to the application part. Okay, we'll apply. We'll try to do a practical. Okay, we'll do the assignment. Okay, so log loss function is nothing but this function is, right, you can write on here, minus y log of this is y hat predicted. Okay, this is observation, this is actual, and this is predicted. Okay, minus 1 minus y into multiplied by log of 1 minus y hat, 1 minus y hat. This is so lengthy, you are looking, this is lengthy but so simple. Just remember to try to remember this one, but this remember this one, this is a very simple way I can show you how to remember this one. Okay, so as I told, the sigmoid function converts my y value into two values. One is 0, another is what? It will convert all the values between 0 and 1.
1.
0 and 1. Okay, so I can write this function as if my y is equal to 0, I will try to write this in this way. Okay, this is if condition. I am trying to give if condition. Okay, I am trying to give an if condition here to understand this one betterly. I am just trying to give this one. Okay, there are two conditions are there. Y may be 0 or y may be 1, or it may be between 0 and 1. Okay, so these two cases it may be. Okay, so if my y is equal to 0, then what will be this function? Can anyone try? This will be 0, this completely 0, right? Because 0 multiplied by anything will be 0. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. And
Yes,
what will be this one? 1 minus 0 will be 1.
1.
1 multiply this, what will be this one? Minus, the minus sign is there, minus log of 1 minus y. Yes or no?
Yes.
Minus log of 1 minus y hat. This is called y hat. Okay, this symbol, this one, this is called y hat. Okay, if my y is equal to 1, then what will be this function? Y is equal to 1, then this will be completely 0, because 1 minus 1 is 0. Yes or no?
Yeah. Yes.
So this part will be completely 0. 0 multiplied by anything will be 0. Yes or no?
Yes, uncle.
Okay, so this part will come into the picture for this case, y is equal to 1. So what will be this what will be the result of this? Minus log of y hat. Yes or no?
Yes.
Minus log of
Y hat.
y hat. Anybody understand till this one or not? So this lengthy this is also called cross entropy. Remember, in our deep learning, in next I think for few classes we will go to the deep learning. Okay, so in deep learning, this function will remember. This loss function is most important, because depending on this loss function, we what we will do, will initialize different m values and c values, the slope. This is in logistic regression. In this machine learning, you can say this as slope and intercept, but in deep learning it will be called as weights. Will initialize different weights, okay, depending on this loss function. Okay, if loss function is high, then we'll initialize different weight function, then we will back propagation, then different techniques will learn. But just remember, this loss function is called a log loss function. Some people it is called as cross entropy also. This is also called as cross entropy. This is also named as cross entropy. This loss function is called as cross entropy, because in all whatever you can say, and this depends on your binary or multiple cross. If it is a binary problem, this is called binary cross entropy. This will be if this is having the category, you are having more than two category type of problems. Okay, like grade A, B, C, more than two categories type of problem, then this will be called as a multi-cross entropy, multiple cross entropy, a binary cross entropy, like this way. Okay, so you just remember this thing. If my y is equal to 0, then my loss function will be minus log of 1 minus y hat. If my y is equal to 1, my loss function will be minus log of y hat. Remember or not remember? Simple. Y is equal to 0 minus log of minus sign is both is there, log is both there. Just 1 minus y hat and y hat. You just remember, if it's 0, then it will be 1 minus y hat. If 1, then it is simple y hat. You just remember this one. Otherwise, in application, in practical application, nothing to remember. This function will not work. But while you go to the interviewer definitely will ask these questions. If you told that I am a data scientist and I know different applications like logistic regression, linear regression, they will definitely ask what is the logic behind this logistic regression, how the loss is calculated, what is the function of loss calculated in the logistic regression. You can say this is cross entropy or log loss we are using. What is log loss? Then we'll ask. Then you can say if as this is a prediction, it predicts the on basis of the probability, so it gives the figure between 0 and 1. And if my y is 0, then my loss function will be minus log of 1 minus y hat. If my y is equal to 1, then my loss function is equal to minus log of y hat. What is y hat? Y hat is my predicted value. Okay, y hat is my predicted value. Understand or not?
Understand.
Okay.
Yes, uncle.
Okay, fine. So next we'll apply this one with our actual problem. What is our actual problem? My actual problem is I am having in x column, I am having in x columns, for example this one, I am having different hours of study, and y I want to predict if the student studied more than 6 hours or more than 7 hours. Like this way the student will be get pass or fail. This is contents pass or fail, 0 or 1, pass or fail. This is our problem statement. Now my problem is one student, suppose the student is Sudhanshu. So Sudhanshu Sudhanshu newcomer in my school, and he studied regularly 2 to 3 hours maximum. Okay, so I want to predict whether the student will get pass or not. Okay, if he studied like this way every day 2 to 3 hours, then we'll get our pass or what is the probability of getting pass or fail. Okay, my problem statement is like this way. Okay, so for that I have already told you that I am having a sigmoid function. Okay, I'm just doing this one for your better understanding. Okay, so and here is my y, this is my y axis and this is my x axis. This is my y axis and this is my y. When my y is equal to 1, the point is here, y is equal to 1, and this point is y is equal to 0. Y is equal to 0. Okay, this is, and all the points my probability will fall between 0 and 1, as this is a sigmoid function. Okay, we understood till this one. Okay, so another thing we have understood that my loss function is equal to, if y is equal to 0, and to write here because we do the calculation, y is equal to 0, my loss function will be minus log of what? Minus log of 1 minus y hat. Okay, just remember this one. Okay, now we'll calculate, okay, on this basis, this problem. If y is equal to 1, and my loss function will be minus log of what? Y hat. This is simple, y hat and 1 minus y hat. Okay, this is my problem, this is my probability, and this is my loss. Okay, this is my loss. If y is having 0, then my loss will be this, and if y this we know. Okay, so now we'll study it. We'll now let us see how it happens. Okay, so for example, I am having different x values. Okay, and there is some x, depending on x values my data points are falling on this, some data point is here, some data point is here, and some few of the data points are here. Those having y is equal to 1, and those have passed, the students those have passed, their data points are falling on this one. And some of the students are misclassified. Example 1 is here. Okay, he is having less number of x value, 2 hours, 1 hours for example, but they get passed. Okay, y is equal to 1. For that case, 1 hour studied but they get passed, that is misclassified, this one. Okay, and some students studied high, matlab, for example per day he studied about 10 hours per day but they get failed. गधा होगा कोई, 10 घंटे पर डे पढ़ रहा था फिर भी फेल हो गया. So that data point will fall like this. This is called misclassification. For example, this one misclassification. I am taking the example in all cases, and these are the right classifications. And my sigmoid function is falling like this way. It is going through this way. Okay. So now let's see. I am taking one data point from correct classification, one data point from this correct classification, and two data points from misclassification. Okay, this is the misclassification or wrong classification, you can say. Wrong classification means by mistake it may happen. Someone some talented people are there, those who have studied less number of hours but they get passed. And some gadha peoples like that, some students, they may be studied 10 hours per day but they get failed. So the data point will fall like this, because this is 0 means failed, 1 means passed. Okay, so and x-axis is here. For example, this is 10 hours. Okay, this is an hours, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, like this, 4 hour, 5 hour, 6 hour, 7 hour, 8 and 9, 10 hour. This is 10 hours. X is equal to 10, and this is also get failed. That means the data point will fall here. Yes or no, Pradhan?
Yes.
Do you understand this graph? What I am trying to show you?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Yes, sir. Okay. If my y is equal to 1, here y is equal to 1, and here this data point, what is the y value? Y is equal to 0, right? I am trying to show you what is the how loss is calculated for all these cases. Okay, all 4 cases I am considering. 2 for misclassification and 2 for correct classification. Okay, here y figure is what? 1? Yes or no? Because these students get passed. Okay, so y is 1. These students get failed. Here y is equal to what? Y is equal to 0, right? So this point y is equal to 0. In this point y is equal to 1. Yes or no?
Yes.
What will be my log loss function for this point? Can anyone say? What is my log loss?
Minus log y cap.
What will be log loss?
Minus log y cap, y hat.
What will be predicted value? If it is 1, my predicted value may be close to 1. It will be definitely close to 1. For example, it will be 0.999, something like this. My predicted value will be fall like this. Okay, 0.99. So if y is equal to 1, this case minus log of, it will be minus log of 0.99, approximately 1, minus log of 1, you can say. What is the minus log of 1? What is log of 1? Log of 1 is always 0. Okay, yes or no?
Yes.
Those who know mathematics very well, you can see the log of 1 is always 0, so it gives 0. My loss is 0 here. Okay, 0 point something, 0 point small, 0 point, otherwise 0, it may be 0. If 1 is 0, if 0.99, it will be 0.0001, like this way loss will be here. Similarly, if my y is equal to 0 or 0 point something like this, if it is predicted, then y hat will be close to 0 at this point. For example, 0.001, for example, here. And my loss function will be minus log of what? Minus log of 1 minus 0.001. Yes or no? This one, y is equal to 0. 1 minus 0.001 0 0 1. Okay, so it will become as minus log of same, minus log of 9, you can say 9.99. So this will be also lead to what, 9.9. so this will be also lead to what, log of approximate 1 is coming, log of 1 is exactly 1, so it will be around, it will also lead to log of 1 is 0, so this loss will be 0. Here it is tends to 0. Okay, this will tends to 0, here it is tends to 0, here it is just tends to 0. That means why this is as correctly predicted, that means that the loss is minimal here, loss is tends to 0, when loss is minimizing in this case. Those are correctly predicted, that means those are correctly classified, their loss is getting minimized.
अंकल
Yeah,
ये y को 0 पर है, वहां पे y हैट माइनस नहीं होना चाहिए, -0.001, तभी माइनस होके वो 1 + 0.001 होगा।
कहाँ पे?
मैं y को 0 का कह रहा हूँ, मतलब दोनों y को 1 पे भी और y को 0 पे भी, दोनों पे सेम वैल्यू हम निकाल रहे हैं।
y, अच्छा अच्छा, right, y is equal to 1, this will be log of log of directly 0.9 I am telling. Okay, not 1 minus, this is 0.9, log of 0.9, because here you are applying here na, y is equal to 1, in this case y is equal to 1. Okay, so minus log of y hat is 0.99. Okay, so log of 0.99, I am not subtracting 1 minus 9.0.99, it is directly 0.99. So 0.99 means it is exactly 1, so it will tends to 0, log of 1 is 0. That's I'm trying to understand, that trying to tell you. In this case also it is giving 0, in this case also it is giving tends to 0.
अच्छा अच्छा,
Okay,
ठीक ठीक।
okay, if y is equal to 0 here, the y is equal to 0, that means 0.001. Okay, so if y equal to 0, my loss will be log of 1 minus y hat, that 1 minus 0.001 will tends to 9.99 something. Okay, so log of a huge number like log of near to 1, always it tends to 0. Remember, log of, I am writing here, log of 1 is 0, that means log of 1 is 0. If log of 0.999, then it will be 0 point something, so it tends to 0, that means that tends to 0. If this number is approximately near to 1, then the result will be tends to 0. Log of 9.9, 100% will tends to 0. Okay, here also 9.9, log of 9.9 is coming. Okay, so it also tends to 0. So in this case my loss is tends to 0, that means loss is minimizing. So our aim is to minimize the loss. See how the log loss function is working in case of y is equal to 1, y is equal to 0. And here what happened, y is equal to 1, here is also y is equal to 1. Okay, so and what is the predicted value? Here predicted value will be how much? It will be a smaller number, a big number. See, x is equal to 0 here, and it near to 0, it will be 0.001, something like this, 0.01. Yes or no? Here x is equal to 9.99, here x is equal to how much? It will y hat will be predicted how much? It is near about because x value is near to 0, so it will be predicted near to 0 only. Okay, 0.01, y hat will be 0.01, right? And the loss function will be how much? Y is equal to 1 minus log of y hat minus log of 0.01, minus log of 0.01. That means it will be approximately will give figure like this, -9 के आसपास देगा ये फिगर. तो log of 1 is equal to log of 1 is 0 and log of 0 is 1. Log of 1 is 0 but log of 0 is 1. approximately 1. So it gives a larger number. See here, it gives a loss is gives a larger number. Here loss is given tends to 0, but here loss is tends to 0.9, means it will tends to 1. So here that's why it is misclassified, it is not predicted correctly. Here loss is getting a higher value, and here is also not predicted correctly. Here you will also calculate, it will get like this 0.9, it will get a higher loss value. Okay, that's why this is misclassified. So you need to not worried about this. That's why the best fit line is considered here. So in this way my log loss function is calculated. Okay, do you understand or not?
Okay.
Okay, so my if you see, my function is like this one, y is equal to 1 by this segment function, I am telling you, 1 plus e to the power minus mx. I think this is this session is recorded. So for future reference, what I'll do, I'll this recording video I'll post in your YouTube channel. In our YouTube channel, you can go through in future. For reference, you can go through this. Okay. So in our case, what is the problem? The problem statement is like, if my x someone is studied 5 hours per day, the people, the student who is studied 5 hours day, I want to predict whether the student getting pass or not, or getting fail, will get pass or will get fail. So for example, I am getting this for this calculation, I am getting m value. Okay, best m value and best c value I want to calculate on the basis of loss. Okay, the log loss I will apply. I will see where my loss is getting minimized, and at that point, when my loss is minimized, at that point, what is my m value and c value. For example, I get my m value as for example minus 4 point some. For example, I get 1 point something like this. I get 1.9. Okay, and c value I get minus, for example minus 4 point something like this. I'll get minus figure here, minus 4 point something, minus 4 for example. So what will be this calculation? This will be m means 1.9 into x means how much? X means 5 hours. X means actual value. I am trying for 5 hours. X is 5. 1.9 into 5. Okay, 1.9 into 5 sorry, plus c is minus 4. You can say minus 4. Okay, so it is minus 4. Minus 4 you can write directly, minus 4. Okay, so in this way you can calculate and you get the percentage. Here you will get the percentage. For example, I get the figure 0.97. For example, I get this figure 0.97. So you can say the 97% probability of 90, there is a probability of 97%, there is a probability of 97% that this student who studied 5 hours per day will get passed. There is a probability of 97% that student will get passed. Okay, that you can make a threshold. If it is greater than 0.5 probability, then I will consider this as passed, otherwise I will consider as fail. So as this is greater than 5%, 0.5%, yeah, 50%, 97, those score is coming, my model score is coming 97%, my probability output of this model is giving 97%, so I will consider this will as passed. So you can predict this student will get passed. In this way, this is my model. This is nothing, my model. This model, I have created my model, and model will work on this like this. Okay, it will calculate first. It will calculate whatever new value I have given, whatever it is, 5 hours or 6 hours, whatever it may be. It will calculate on the basis of this loss function. On the basis of this loss function. Okay, on the basis of this loss function, it will calculate what is the best m value and what is the best c value. On the basis of that, it will just put the numbers here, m and c value, and x already I am having the input. 5 or 6 or whatever it may be, and it will predict my y value, will get the y hat. Okay, and model will give the output, whether the prediction is 97%, 98%, whatever probability. Okay, on that basis you can make a threshold, and you can give the output that this is classified as pass category. Understand or not? This is so simple. This is the model. You need to remember logistic regression, and whatever my input is there, I will pass this input to my model, and my model will give the output on the basis of calculating my loss functions, and it try to get the best m value and c value. On the basis of this m and c value, it calculate and gives the probability. This is so simple, nothing rocket science. And whatever we studied, this is for your reference. Though this is not required, we will not do so much of mathematical calculation in our application. Real world, don't worry. This model, whatever we create, it will work automatically. We need not require this so much of mathematics. Okay, this is simple. Even we do not need to require this calculation. The model, whatever model will create in Python, that it will work internally on this function, segment function. Okay.
अंकल
Yeah. Any question?
अंकल जो हमारा ग्राफ था उसके अंदर लॉस वैल्यू दो जगह पर जीरो थी, व्हेन y वाज इक्वल टू 0 एंड व्हेन y वाज इक्वल टू 1. तो बेस्ट m और c फंक्शन कौन सा होगा उन दोनों में से?
ये फंक्शन की बात करो, दिस करो.
हाँ जी अंकल.
हाँ, see, if my y is equal to 0, when my y is equal to 0, okay, and it will my predicted for example y is equal to, this is y is equal to 0, and my predicted value is 0.001. It is approximately 0.001. If my predicted value is 0.001, my what will be my loss function? It will be 1 minus, as y is equal to 0, it will be minus log of 1 minus y hat, 1 minus 0.000. So it will get log of a big number, 9.9, approximately 1. Okay, so log of 1 is always 0. So my loss is tending, that means it tends towards 0. My loss is minimizing. It tends towards 0. Always I told you that how the loss is loss function is always like this. It will always like this. Okay, and it will try to minimize the loss. Okay, it will try to different m and c value, it will try to go down. This is the my global minima. Here my loss is minimized. It will try to get this value, this figure. Till then, what will do? It will measure. It will calculate on different m value and c values and try to get different points, and at the end, it will get this global minima. This is the minimum loss, where the the loss is approximately tends to 0. That will be right predicted, you can say. So similarly here is also it tends to 0. That means my loss is minimized. So this is correctly predicted. Okay, here is also in this point, when my predicted value is 0.999, as this is minus log of y is equal to 1 minus log of 0.999, it also gives tends to 0, minus log of 999, because log of big number is tends to 0. So also this here tends to 0. So in this line, in these points, all these points are giving a very less loss, very lower loss value. Okay, but the misclassification, where the points are here, it gives the bigger loss value. That's why this misclassified will not, the segment function will not consider these points. Understood or not? Simple. Who asked this question?
Yes uncle.
Drishti. Because I am on this page. I am not like who is asking or what.
Yes, sir.
Drishti, you have asked, or who asked this question?
No, sir, I haven't asked.
Sorry?
I haven't asked, sir.
Drishti. Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Bhumika, you asked, or who?
Yes, uncle.
Okay, okay, got it. So do you understand or not? Now it is. Do you understood what I am trying to tell you? मैं क्या समझाना
Yes,
चाहता
uncle.
हूँ आपको समझ में आया नहीं आया?
हाँ जी अंकल, आ गया.
Okay, na? So this is the point. This is just remember log of a big number tends to 0. Log of big number tends to 0. Okay, this is a 9999 is coming prediction. Here is coming smaller prediction value 0.001. But as y is equal to 0 here, so I am what I am doing. I am subtracting 1 minus smaller number. I am getting a bigger number. So log of bigger number will tends to 0 here. Okay, log of bigger number tends to 0, and here log of bigger number is also coming here, and it also tends to 0. That's why it is correctly classified. This is correctly classified, but the points falling on this line, on this above this line, मतलब outside of this sigmoid, these are misclassified. This is wrongly classified. Okay, on the basis of if maximum numbers are more numbers are here and here, that means my model is not correct. Okay, model always try to create a model which having the maximum correct classifications in this line in segment function. Maximum number of correct classifications are there in this line. Okay, that model will be considered the best model. Correct classification should be in this on this line. That will be our best model, you can say, that sigmoid line, that sigmoid function. Okay, so this is all about we have discussed about the single classification, one x value, and we have predicted one y value. Okay, another one thing, if I am having multiple x values, okay, multiple x values, for example, multiple independent variables. Okay, in that case what happens? Simple. One thing I want to give one diagram here. You can better understood. For example, this is one thing, and I am trying to create a three-dimensional thing. Okay, and this is one. This is what happened? No, this is not correct. I'm trying to do my mistake. Okay, like this one plane is here. Okay, another plane is here, another plane is here, and we are having this one is this collected, this is here connected, this is here connected. Okay, and I am having two independent variables, x1 and x2, and one dependent variable I want to predict, where it is having different classes. Okay, pass or fail, 0 and 1 is here, and x1 x2 I am having different x1 values and x2 values. Two independent variables are there and one dependent variable is there. Okay, and to predict 0 and 1, whether the student is get passed or fail. For example, I have taken number of hours studied and number of you can say another independent variables. So I have considered that what is the previous score. Previous score I can consider, previous class score I have also consider. Okay, what is the previous class score and how many hours he's studied. Okay, कितने घंटे पढ़ रहे हैं और पिछले जो एग्जाम था उसकी स्कोर क्या था. Suppose two things I am considering, two independent variables. On that basis, I want to predict whether the student will get pass or fail, for example. Okay, so I am having different values. I am having x1 figures are here, and this line you can say this is one x2 figure will be here. Okay, and this height you can say this will consider my predicted value 0 and 1, y value is there. Okay, so my points, this independent figure x1 will fall, for example, some classification. Those are having 0 classified, those are having 0 and 1. Some points will fall here. Okay, I want to show the graph how it shows in the sigmoid function. So how the sigmoid function is, you can visualize in terms of if there are two independent variables. Okay, so there are some classification like this. Pass and fail are here, and some pass and fail are here in this paper, in this slide. Okay, you can write, and in this cross and this is 0. Okay, so in this way, some points are here. Okay, some points are here. These are pass categories and these are fail categories. 0 अंडा मिला है सबको, 0 सबको अंडा मिला है, और ये सब क्रॉस जो मिला है ना, ये अच्छे अच्छे बच्चे हैं, इनको अच्छा ये पास हुए हैं, सब फेल हुए हैं. ठीक है. सो दिस विल बी लाइक दिस, एंड द सिग्मॉइड फंक्शन यू कैन से हियर, it will be like this, it will move like this, but this is not a line, this will be a plane. Okay, this will be a plane like this, it will be a plane, and it will move like this. This is a plane, just visualize, this is a plane in this way, this is a plane. Okay, not a line, this is a plane starting from this to this. The width is, the plane width is this much, the plane width is this much. Okay, and this plane will move like this. So in this case of x1 x2, my sigmoid function will not simple a line, it will be a plane, it will be converted as a plane. And the figures, you can threshold, you can say 0.5, here is 0, y will be 0.5, that means this one. So this plane, you can cut this plane in half if you consider that if the points are having greater than this probability, the plane is having greater than this probability, is classified as pass, and the below this plane, for example this is my threshold plane. Okay, and 0.5 plane. Okay, and below this plane, for example all these lines, all these points whatever present here, they will be classified as fail category. This is classified as a plus categories, pass category. So in this way, when my dependent and independent figures are there, we can visualize in this way. And if it is more than 2, you cannot visualize, we cannot draw any graph for this more than 3 categories for any model. For example, if a 2 independent features, I just show that it will work like a plane. Okay, in this way, my sigmoid function will like this way. The function, everything will be same. Okay, just my what will be my mathematical expression? It will be y is equal to 1 plus, same function will be there, but here y is equal to 1 plus minus m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus c, like this way. It will be just my function converted like this way. It will be earlier it was having m1 x1 plus c, now it will be added m2 plus c, though those are, I mean, 2 independent features, so it will be added m2 plus x2 plus c, like this way. If 3 independent features will be there, then the function will be converted into m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m2 x3 m3 x3 plus c. Okay, so my y will be this in this case, and this is a plane, not a simple line, because I am having 2 features are there, x1 x2. This will be a plane, not a line. Okay, so my sigmoid function will be behave here as a plane, crossing from one dimension x1 to one dimension to another dimension. This is one dimension and this is one other dimension. So it passes through, the plane is like a S curve, but it touches the top layer. This is one dimension top layer, and the below S curve, the below curve of S touches my the lower level of this dimension, lower plane. This is the upper plane. You can visualize in this way. So do you understand or not? This is so simple. You need to visualize how sigmoid function it, though this my graph is not correct because I don't have pen, I am writing through the mouse, it is not accurately, but just visualize. It will be like this, a plane. Okay, it will touch some point of the top dimension and x2 dimension. For example, this is x2 and this is x1. So it touches some points in x2 and some points in x1. You can say some points not x1 x2, some classification considering one, that pass categories is suppose in top dimension and fail categories in this dimension. So it will touches like this. Okay, and x1 will be here, x2 will be here.
अंकल जो जो पास और फेल के बीच में है ट्रांजिशन स्टेट में, उसको क्या कहेंगे?
ये बीच का,
हम्म
ये बीच में कुछ नहीं है, ये सिंपल है. आप मैक्सिमम कुछ पॉइंट यहाँ पे भी हो सकता है, ठीक है. कुछ पॉइंट्स यहाँ पे भी होंगे. आप इसीलिए बोला ना थ्रेशोल्ड आपको लेना है. यू विल कंसिडर दिस थ्रेशोल्ड. ओके, यू कैन कंसिडर 0.5 इज माई थ्रेशोल्ड, 0.5 as my threshold. If it is greater than probability always it will be 0 to 1, as I told you, because this sigmoid function it can give 0.1, it can give 0.2, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9. Not only all these figures on this, I'm just representing, but it may be down to the line also. Okay, and downwards like this way. Now, if it is near to 1, definitely it will touch this plane. If near to 0, it will touches this point, these points. Okay, just visualize. It may be this point may be above this point is above this point, like this way. It just going through this plane only, this S curve plane. Some points are here, some point it may be 0.2, it may be 0.3, it may be 0.4, it may be 0.1, it may be 0.00001, like this way. Okay, and here it may be 0.0000, sorry, 0.4. Here how it will be, how much, if this plane is 0.5, so it may be 0.4 here. If a point is here, 0.3 will be here. So point will be here. I am just showing the 1 and 0 for your better understanding, but all points will flow like this way. Okay, and whatever the point is above this and below this, we can classify as pass or fail. We have to give one threshold to this sigmoid. Threshold means we can consider, for example, I want to take threshold as 7.7. I do not consider, I do not want to consider below less than 0.7 as pass category. Okay, so depends on you how much threshold you want to give to the model. On the basis of that, it will predict it will just try to classify the things. It depends on our threshold. Okay,
uncle.
So setting of threshold we'll discuss in the next class. Okay, how to set this threshold. There is also technology how to set your threshold. It will be good for at 0.5, or it will be good at 0.6, or it will be good at 0.7, or it will be good at 0.4. Okay, so that is also, there is some techniques you can use to settle our threshold, to set our threshold. Okay, do you understand or not?
Understand, uncle.
Okay, any question, any doubt so far?
No.
So we'll revise the things, or we'll go for the application part. We are left with 30 minutes. Let me know. We'll go for application in Python, or we'll revise anything you want to understand better. You can revise the thing.
Application.
Sorry?
Application करते हैं.
Application करते हैं. Okay, fine. So this is my this is object detection. Okay, and where my folder, I want to go to my folder first. Just 1 minute. Python new. So in our there are so many things we'll study in future. Okay, You have to be patient and slowly steadily will learn deep learning everything how to detect the objects in an image. For example, in an image, I'm having different objects. Okay, so how to detect those objects separately. Okay, for example, in an image, I'm having in an image I'm having a dog, a cat, and suppose in a road I'm moving, I'm traveling a road, and you can see there are different vehicles are moving, and the roadside houses are there. I want to classify the and I have clicked a picture, and on that picture different objects are there. I want to classify the object. Okay, uh, the system that will learn how we can classify our object, how we can detect our object. That hand detection, you can say, how to detect our hands, how detect our postures. Okay, the movement of a hand, you can see, you can say like this way. So in future classes it will be so interesting when we'll because this machine learning is so simple. Okay, people nowadays for sophisticated models, like people are using deep learning, not machine learning. So you need to have patience and we'll learn everything. Okay, just slowly and steadily. It will take a few minutes, few seconds, I think. I'm going to Jupyter notebook. Okay, fine. सो कैसे रहा न्यू ईयर आप लोगों का? कैसे रहा न्यू ईयर इस बार? भूमिका कैसे रहा? आप क्या किया न्यू ईयर में? कहीं घूमने गए थे इधर ना, फरीदाबाद में है?
Sir, they came at Abohar.
सॉरी.
Sir, they came at Abohar to meet me.
ओके ओके
अंकल हम नानी हाउस गए थे अबोहर न्यू
गोहर.
ईयर पर।
ओके, गुड 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 गुड. मम्मी के साथ ना अकेले गए थे?
हाँ जी अंकल,
अच्छा अच्छा.
मम्मी के साथ अंकल।
ओके. और ये प्रधान शिवशंकर, यू आर इन फरीदाबाद और यू आर इन कोलकाता?
ये कोलकाता में अभी।
कोलकाता में. वेरी गुड. पापा के साथ?
जी अंकल।
ओके. इट इज टेकिंग टाइम यार. जस्ट 1 मिनट. यस. In the starting I have shown some how to detect that Google trainable Google. Have you seen that website or not? Huh?
एक एक्टिविटी कराया।
हाँ, एक एक्टिविटी कहते हैं ना, सेम थिंग विल डू इन डीप लर्निंग. दिस इज पॉसिबल ओनली इन डीप लर्निंग, नॉट इन मशीन लर्निंग. ओके. स्टोर. ओके. So logistic regression. Okay. Teachable machine, this one is so interesting actually. This is Google, how they have made is so interesting. Okay. Opening taking time. Okay, in the meantime, let me see if it is done. Okay, teachable machine. इंटरनेट स्लो हो गया क्या? Okay, let's wait for few seconds. It's running. You can see, just try to visualize the things. Okay, try to visualize the things, how the machine launch. Okay, not don't understand that, don't think that this is a website and playing this role. No, this is just, this is similar type of work doing whatever we are learning. Okay, you can see the image either pose projection. If you see here, you go here and to classify, for example, I want to play tabla. Okay, I am classifying one for playing tabla. Okay, and I'm creating a webcam. I'm opening my webcam. Okay, just wait. See how it is so simple way it is created. Okay, now it is opening my camera. One minute it will take. It is just initializing my camera. Just 1 minute. Yeah, it comes now. Suppose I'm playing my tabla. Okay, this is the different posters. Okay, I'm playing the tabla, right? And now this category is created. Okay, another category I'm trying to create. This is one class, classification problem. Now we are studying. See, this is one class I have created for the tabla. Another class I am created, for example, playing guitar. Okay, playing guitar means it will be like this. For example, I am holding. Playing guitar means you can say ऐसे ऐसे करना है, ठीक है? I have created some images and I am saving now. Okay, and I have created two. Now I want to pass all these images inside my model, and I'm training. Okay, this is the model, and the see, it is now training my model is get training through these all these images. Okay, one image I have created for the tabla playing, and one other image is playing the guitar. Okay, so it's training now. Training is process, you just see. Okay, do not switch tab, it's telling don't switch tab. Okay, it's training process now. So faster way it is processing, 0.35 seconds is telling. 4 images processed out of 50 images, 5 images, 6 images. Okay, it's showing the progress of training. Okay, similar, this is possible only through the deep learning, not this machine learning whatever we are learning now. This can be possible only through deep learning. Okay, what it does actually, I'm just giving an overview. It is just classify, it just do the convolutional CNN network. Okay, convolutional neural network, you can say neural network. It creates some neural networks inside this model. It creates some neural networks, and it try to read all these images. Okay, and try to read all the pixels, and try to extract some features from these pixels, and after extracting the features, out of all the features, it extracts the best features. Okay, out of them, and it try to classify. When you will give the input, it will classify whether you are playing guitar or tabla. See, now it is training. After completion of the training, we'll see how it is classified perfectly or not. This is a classification problem, but this is on images. Same, this is a binary classification, guitar and tabla. So we'll use here in this model, it is used what type of loss function is used here? Binary cross entropy. What type of? Binary log loss, you can say, or binary cross entropy is used here. So see, okay, I'm playing this one. It's showing guitar. If I'm playing like this, not getting. Okay, see, it is playing, it's showing tabla is 100%, correct? When I'm trying movement like this way, okay, movement like this way, it's showing the guitar 100%. See, and when I'm playing my hand like this way, it is showing tabla, right?
Right, uncle.
Correctly, it is getting the posture positions, correctly classifying. Okay, so in this way, now it is getting confused. Tabla guitar also, it is just my picture, because this pictures contains my both the pictures contains my face, so it is getting confused whether it's a guitar or tabla. Okay, it is not classifying properly. And when I am putting my hand, okay, and playing this, so it shows this is a tabla. This posture is basically playing the tabla. Okay, and when I change my posture, okay, and playing guitar like these things, it will trying to detect as this is a guitar. Just see. Okay, 100%. So like this way. So this type of classification, image classification, you can will learn in our future classes. Okay, now this is Navi-Bayes theorem. No, Navi-Bayes we have not gone through this one. So this another problem is the Navi-Bayes theorem. Logistic regression, we have ROC curve, this one. So there are different type of models to classify to solve the classification problems, like Navi-Bayes model is there, logistic regression is there, SVM is there. SVM matlab that is called support vector machine. Okay, SVM. So different machine learning models, machine learning techniques are there to solve these classification problems. Okay, Out of this you have to learn everything, and you have to pass your input through all these models, out of which is giving the best output. You can use that for final production, whether it may be logistic, it may be SBM, it may be Navy batch, whatever it may be. Okay, there are so many techniques we will learn one by one in machine learning. Okay, so first one is the logistic regression, whatever we learn today. So it's coming. Only 8-9 minutes left. My system is very slow. Okay, no problem. We'll see what is the problem statement. We'll understand, and the next class we'll go through this application. Okay, because today I think time will not permit. We'll just see what is the problem. What is our problem statement? Okay. Open here. Type of loss function we'll use. Categorical cross entropy होगा, categorical